Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sal Licata Show. Nice intro there by Badabooms as we start to move this thing in the right direction here. What are you shaking your head about? That was fun. I like that. What are you playing in the background? Why am I hearing myself in the background?
Yeah. I thought I was muted, and then you started talking to me, and then maybe it unmuted.
Oh, okay. No,
I'm
that
not
was
here.
good.
Can't
I,
be
I
heard,
like
can't be seen.
I like the intro. We're gonna get to you in a little bit. I have a lot of notes from yesterday's show, stuff that I wanted to get to throughout the week that we didn't get to with you. But then I had a lot of feedback from yesterday's show, so we need to talk later. Let's start with the Mets because this might be and we'll get to the Knicks and the Yankees and, like I said, some other fun stuff. But this might be the last time that we open the show with the Mets this year. They are quickly headed toward the path of irrelevancy and apathy, which is exactly where you don't want to be, but that's where they're going. And in part due to the Mets just being thick-headed about continuing to roll out players that aren't getting the job done. I talked about this a week ago with Kodai Senga. I don't know. I don't know who in the organization thought it was a good idea to give Kodai Senga another chance. I don't know how they could have extreme patience with him, but they did. And then he got hurt or he's on the IL. Okay, fine. And yet again, we had it yesterday with David Peterson getting a start. Now, that's kind of an emergency situation because they don't have anywhere else to turn. So I could understand that for a little bit, even though the most success that Peterson has had has come out of the bullpen this year. But they decide, okay, well, we're going to give him a chance to start against the Nationals, see what he can do maybe for the final time. And he goes out there and he gets lit up. And then the Mets are toast because they can't score any runs. So, once he gives up runs early, they're done. And then they tag Peterson with Manaea. And he's another one now that, look, how much more do you need to see? I like Sean Manaea. I love the idea of signing Sean Manaea. I thought they got him at a good value coming off of 2024. I think a lot of us would agree, but it doesn't matter whether it was a good signing or not, whether we think it was a bad move or not, whether we liked it or not, doesn't matter. He can't get out. He can't get out to the big league level. So, bare minimum, Kodai Senga should never see the mound again, in the big leagues at the very least, and I would just cut him and move on. But David Peterson should be moved to the bullpen because you can't just cut everybody. Now, if they could trade him, that's a different story, obviously. I can't imagine there being great trade value from him. But David Peterson should be moved to the bullpen because at least he's proven to be somewhat useful there. And Manaea's got to go. He's got to be cut. You can't do this. They keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Why? Why can't are the analytics telling you something that I'm not seeing? I don't understand it. These guys can't get outs, and you keep running them out there. Think how many games the Mets wasted. Even with Peterson starting before they moved him to the bullpen, they gave him an extra start. They shouldn't have done it. Same thing with Senga. Before they waited till late, they shouldn't have done it. Matter of fact, Sean Manaea shouldn't have made the roster. And after spring training, we knew what was going to happen. They were trying to sugarcoat. Oh, no, his velocity's down, but he feels fine. Well, no, we knew that was a major red flag in spring training. But I was thinking about this last night because really there are no ways to turn right now, right? What are you supposed to do? You can't cut everybody. I mean, if we're up to me, I would cut literally. And I understand how, practically it doesn't make sense. I would cut Senga, I would cut Manaea, and I would cut Vientos, now. And probably even more, but I know you need to field a roster. And with guys like Jared Young hurt and Tauchman, you're already digging into the bottom of the barrel. So it's hard you can't just say, well, just cut everybody and move on. And we're getting close to the point where I'm about to say, call up A.J. Ewing and bring up Jonah Tong and just have the baby Mets make a run here in 2026. Because there's nothing else worth watching. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. We're getting there. If it weren't April 30th, and if this were June 30th, it'd be a foregone conclusion, but I think we're getting there rather quickly here. They have no shot. Anyway, the problem predates the season because in season it's okay, well, what are you supposed to do? We need Peterson or Manaea or Senga or somebody to step up and get outs. Well, they can't do it. And it should have been nipped in the bud preseason because you should have. David Stearns knows better than to come into the year and rely on David Peterson, a guy who he's not even really that high on. I was higher on Peterson than most because I don't look at the analytics and I like his competitiveness. And thinking, all right, he was good first half, great first half last year, an all-star. I was turned off, obviously, by the second half with David Peterson last year. How can you not be? I mean, the Mets needed Please, somebody give me 3 innings. Give me 3 innings. Couldn't even get that from Peterson in one start down the stretch. Neither could Senga. What more do you need to see? I don't understand it. That would have been the nail on the coffin for me. Move on from Kodai Senga. And I think they wanted to. And they might have tried to do that. And they probably couldn't because guess what? There's no value. Same thing with Vientos. How many years have we heard about Mark Vientos and the possibility of a trade? Like, I'm fine with rolling the dice with Beatty, and he's been terrible, but I could understand that. You just rolled the dice with him. He wasn't supposed to be thrown into a big role. He is. But you can't do both. God, enough. When are they going to do something? I know you all want Mendoza to be fired. I actually would like to fix the team. That's why I keep getting in the way of, no, I don't want Mendoza fired, because that's making a move just to do something. I'm trying to do something to fix the team. And fixing the team would mean getting Minaya off the team, moving Peterson at bare minimum to the bullpen, moving on from Senga, moving on from Mark Vientos. Trade, or if you could find some sucker to take him on, just like you did with the Rangers with DeGrom and Nimmo, or not DeGrom, with Scherzer and Nimmo, then do it. It was a little stray at Nimmo, I understand right there. We'll get more on him in a second. But if you could find some sucker to take on Mark Vientos, you do it. Or you just cut him. He can't play. Oh, but Sal, he hit a lot of home runs in 2024. Yeah, I saw it. That's 2024. That's part of the problem. He sucks you in with that one good season. You're like, well, maybe he could do this. And now forever, you're hoping that you're going to chase 2024? Same thing with Peterson. Well, he was an all-star last year. Oh, now you're going to chase that? No. Look at the bigger picture. Oh, Senga, when he's healthy, sometimes he pitches like an ace. Yeah, that's great. He's never healthy. And the majority of the time, he's not pitching like an ace, even when he is. Enough. Plus, the results show you need to do something tangible to make the team better. Bring in a first baseman. You know, I was thinking about it. The one move that if the Mets could take back. Now, I know Stearns probably wouldn't admit this yet, and I would not want to overreact to just a month. As a matter of fact, I'm being patient and understanding that his plan, Stearns' plan, never had a chance to really get underway here with all the guys that got hurt, with the underperforming. Like, it's just, there was nobody ever, no fan gave him a chance to let the plan work, and the plan on its own couldn't work because guys got hurt. The fact that the top 4 in the lineup only played 6 games together, like, that's just a reality. So it all has blown up in his face, but it's just 1 month. However, if there is any regret from all the moves, I think it's got to be Alonso. And it's not like, it has nothing to do with whether you think Alonso is going to be great or not. It's just right now, the Mets desperately need a first baseman. Desperately. I had no problem with Polanco, but Polanco does have a history of being banged up. Where I have a bigger problem is that Stearns relied on the insurance behind Polanco. I have to assuming that Polanco was going to be either banged up or need time at DH. He assumed that Beatty-Vientos combo would be effective. And the reason why I know that is because I'm pretty sure that was reported. If it wasn't reported, I heard, this is before they let Pete go, that, the plan was if Pete moves on and doesn't want to take the short-term deal, they're more than fine with Vientos and Beatty at first base. And I couldn't believe that was the case. Like, you just... How? Like, put down the pads and the analytics and the computers and the laptops and use your eyeballs. Now I have 2 new eyeballs basically with the cataract surgery that I had last year. So, but even before that, because this goes back years, I just had the cataract surgery beginning last year. Even before I had the cataract surgery, I could see with my own eyes that there's no way Vientos or Beatty can be a first baseman on a team that's going to go try to compete for a World Series. By the way, World Series and the Mets, like, couldn't be further apart. Could not be further apart.
Can you say the thing?
What thing? Go ahead, Badabooms.
The Mets are done.
No, I'm not going to. I mean,
you make for a good clip. Come on.
No. I'm not rage baiting or clickbaiting or anything like that. I speak from the heart. Now, I don't. Yeah, I think they're done as far as the World Series goes. I said that a while ago. After they got swept by the Dodgers, you could just see that they're on two totally different levels. And that was before the 12-game losing streak, in the midst of it. The World Series dreams, like the idea that this will end the 40-year drought, come on, bro. We all know that that's not going to happen. The idea that the Mets might even get back to 500 might be over. Like, I'm not even talking playoffs. Matter of fact, and this is why I said this is not just a Mets podcast here. I'm not talking Mets all the time. I'm talking Mets when they're relevant. They're still relevant now because they're hanging on by a thread to try to save their season as they're 10-20, the worst record in baseball, before we even get to May 1st. But they need to do something. Now, once they do something and maybe get some guys back healthy, maybe they have a shot to turn this thing around, and it could be a slow play to build it back up to maybe make a run of the postseason spot. But they're going to have to earn it. I mean, the 10 games under 500, wake me up when they get close to 5. Wake me up when they start heading in the right direction. Forget World Series, forget playoffs, forget 500. Stop losing. Stop, win a series. Win a series against the Nats. They're going to have a chance to do that today, this afternoon, with their ace, Freddie Peralta. Let's see if Peralta can do a little more than his number. 5 1/3 today. Peralta wears 51, as we said last week. He should put the dot in the middle. 5 1/3, Freddie Peralta. Let's see if he can get the job done to maybe head this thing in the right direction. And then the games in Anaheim, like, come on now. Got to start winning. And one way to do that is to stop putting Peterson and Minaya on the mound so often. And stop putting Mark Vientos in the lineup or in the field. Even again yesterday, Beatty. They can't catch the ball. Oh, and a big blow came to the Mets yesterday with Luis Robert Jr. The reports about him having an issue with his back. He may have to be IL'd. I was asked about this last night on Sports Night. And the question, the way that it was phrased was, how big of a deal do you think this is that the Mets might be without Luis Robert for a while? Could it be any worse? Like, you think they've had Robert there. They lost 12 in a row. They got swept by the Rockies. You think Robert really makes a difference at this point? I don't think he does. Not only has he not been producing offensively the way that like Robert had a good opening weekend. Or a good first series against the Pirates. We were on head Badabooms to see that walk-off home run from Robert. Good opening day. Showed some plate discipline early on. That was it. And then everybody started to fall in love with him. Then guys started to get hurt. And instead of him being a 5 or 6 hitter or 7 hitter, they moved him up. And he was asked to be a 3 hitter or 4 hitter. He's not that. He's not that. And my main thing with Robert is his defense. He cost them games in St. Louis. He can't throw the ball. Again, another one. Another part of that plan from Stearns. He's got to have maintenance days. Even when he is here, he's not performing, whether it's with the arm in center field or whether it's with the bat. And then he's got to have maintenance days on top of that. Oh, yeah, I think they're really going to miss him. They might get swept by the Rockies. Oh, wait, that happened. They might lose 12 in a row. Oh, wait, that already happened. So what now without him? They lose 15 in a row? I don't think it makes a difference. Of course, you'll miss having a somewhat capable big leaguer in the batter's box or in that lineup. I guess you'd rather have Robert. I guess this speaks volumes to where the Mets are. I guess you'd rather have Robert than you would MJ Melendez, I guess. But does it really make a difference? Is Robert the Mets? And I said this 2-3 weeks ago. I think before the meat of that losing streak, you can see the Mets were taking on water. You just see it. One thing after another. All of a sudden, the starting rotation that seemed like it was okay, now they started to take a little bit of a hit. With Senga not pitching well, maybe after his first bad outing. Or Peterson, now that's 2 of the 5 in the rotation. Starting to take on water. Okay, guys getting injured here. Soto goes down. Can you hold the fort down for a little bit? And then Polanco goes down. It's like, uh-oh. They're beyond taking on water. They're about to sink here. This is taking on water, and now it's like, is it like Titanic when the boat breaks and then I don't know, how does that go? The boat.
Who's the iceberg in this situation, or what's the iceberg?
The fans getting hit, getting crushed. I feel like I'm the iceberg. No, I believe in this team. They're going to be a World Series contender. No, Mendy, no, Stearns, trust the plan. In the face of the fire with the offseason. Anyway, I got distracted there. I distracted myself. But I think the one regret would be Pete Alonso because at the very least, we know fans loved him and we know Pete produced with power. Like those are floors for bringing Pete. The floor is he plays every day, the fans love him, and he will hit with power. That's the floor. So you have to live with the other stuff. Now, I hated the idea of having him be the first baseman. I just can't stand it. But Pete, compared to what they have with Vientos and Beatty right now, he's Keith Hernandez. I mean, come on. He's Keith Hernandez. Beatty and Vientos can't play the position at the big league level. Period. End of story. So I didn't love the idea of committing long-term to Pete. I am on record as saying I would have traded Lindor. I would have signed Pete, but I would have had Pete be the DH. Anyway, I think that's one that if they could redo right now and push a button because they are so desperate for a first baseman. Think about it. The talk now, this comes up on Baseball Night in New York, about the idea of okay, well, who can the Mets get? Like now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. They need somebody now. We're live here. This is not even recorded. Like, they needed somebody yesterday, really. But like now, who could it be? And one of the names that keeps coming up because the Astros are out of it is Christian Walker. Oh, okay, well, Walker. Yeah, he's a better defender than Pete, but who do you think's a better offensive player? And Walker, I know, tormented the Yankees last year as we were watching the Astros a little bit. He was hitting the ball hard. He could be a good offensive player. He's not Pete Alonso. And I know it's a shorter contract, but still, you're talking about taking on money from the Astros and taking on Christian Walker's contract, which I would do right now. But you're telling me that the Mets are so desperate right now that they would be willing to do that, and it would help the ball club and be an upgrade. But that wouldn't be a better move than signing Pete Alonso, even if you include the 5 years. So that's one that I think they screwed up. The Diaz one, they would not regret right now because he's hurt. McNeil, forget about, he's irrelevant. And you know, a shocking development happened in the Yankee game yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, Badabooms, but a real shocker. I couldn't believe it. Nimmo had to leave the game due to a hamstring issue. All those people so quick to judge. Hey, Nimmo, oh, how can you trade Nimmo? It's such a bad trade, trading Nimmo. You forget that Nimmo was an issue here. Great guy. I love the character, Brandon Nimmo. High character, hustle player, love the attitude, wanted to be here. He just was an issue as far as roster construction goes, and you can't rely on him because, A, he's inconsistent. This is not my opinion. These are facts. A, he's inconsistent. B, he is always banged up or hobbled, and even when he's in the lineup, he's playing with the bad foot. That leads to, well, why did Nimmo look like an all-star in the first half of the year and then fell off a cliff in the second half? Oh, well, it was his foot. Oh, well, he's changing something in the batter's box. Oh, he was changing his approach. It's going to get fixed this year. And then he gets hurt again. Like, it's always the same thing with Nimmo, and they were committed to him long-term. So that one, I know you don't want to hear it. That was the right move to make. Nimmo for Simeon was the right move. You do that 100 times over. And right now, if they could go back and redo it, they would do the same thing again. The Pete thing, though, I think that's one. Ironic that we're sitting here on April 30th talking about the Mets need a first baseman. Desperately need a first baseman. And you know that wouldn't have been the case. Even if Pete had a bad year, at least you still would trust at some point he would start. Like, his bad years are far better than anything they've gotten right now. Now, I'm not saying he would be the sole answer to their issues, but he certainly would have helped. And when you take a big risk the way that they did, you can't miss. And so far, through the first month of the season, it has been a total miss and a mess for the Mets. But I just beg that at some point, they do something. I understand you don't want to be irrational. You don't want to just fire guys to fire guys. You don't want to change guys. Like, Sean Manaea would never pitch again if it were my team. Mark Vientos would never set foot on the field again if it were my team. Figure it out, because you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If you don't care about the result of it's almost as if they're just like, you know what, this is the team, we got nothing, can't save it now, let's just let them roll out there and see what happens. Hoping for a different result. Let's hope Petey has it tonight. Let's hope Manaea comes in and doesn't implode with his 85-mile-an-hour fastball that's on a tee. You know what Sean Manaea is really good at? I actually figured this out, and maybe the analytics show this as well. I was looking up some deeper metrics. He's really good at throwing batting practice. I think the metrics show that. At least the Mets have Juan Soto, and I'm not saying that in being facetious. At least they have him. He's an absolute stud. I think he's turning into a leader of this team, if not just being a vocal front and center leader, the way that a traditional leader leads, or a captain. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about leader. He was up there after they won 2 nights ago. You know, they had the big inning. Well, 6 hits total in the game, but they had the 7-run inning. He had a 2-run homer in that inning. He was talking to Steve Gelbs afterward and talking about how he believes in the guys. To me, that was Soto being a leader. He looks more comfortable in his second year here, more of the face of the franchise. And I love that for the Mets. Get rid of everybody else, build around Juan Soto being the face of this team. The only thing that, like, a little awkward was the guys trying to put that construction hat on him. Come on, man. He's Juan Soto. Maybe the baddest MFer in the game, right? I mean, we know how great Aaron Judge is, and, you know, legendary captain, all those different things. I'm not trying to say Soto's better than Judge. I mean, the numbers would tell you that they're not. So Ohtani's having a down year, but, you know, we know Ohtani's a great player. I think Soto's the baddest man on the baseball planet. And something just doesn't look right when the baddest man on the baseball planet, Juan Soto, has got to put on the goofy hard hat and the construction vest. Like, I get it. It's fun for some and cool for some. If I'm Soto, I'm like, you know, guys, you hit maybe 1 home run a month or something. I plan on hitting 40, 45 of these things. I don't want to wear that hat 45 times this year. You know what I'm saying? You can put on the other guys. Then I'll watch. You want to do the picture thing? You can do that. The construction hat, I don't know about it. The biggest thing to come from the Yankee game yesterday was not the fact that the Yankees lost the game. It does happen. What's that like, rooting for a team that barely loses? It's like when you do lose, we missed a chance to sweep. It's all right. We'll go get the Orioles on Friday night. Yanks are off today, and we'll get word probably on Jason Dominguez, and that's the unfortunate thing. He had to leave the game getting hit by a pitch there. Just when you get an opportunity. Everything going nicely for the Yankees here. Even on the farm, the way that they're developing the young guys. You saw Rodriguez get his debut yesterday. Okay, fair enough. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. But George Lombard moving his way up the ranks in the minor leagues. The Yanks are right now, everything. Garrett Cole working his way back. Rodon coming back soon. Everything's shaping up nicely here for the Yankees. Playing well at the big league level, even with losing Giancarlo Stanton, which, another shock, Giancarlo Stanton to the IL. It gives an opportunity for Jason Dominguez. All right, let's see what he could do. I like the idea of having him down in the minor leagues to start the year. Let him develop. Now let's see what could happen when he comes up here. Unfortunately, before he could even get going, he gets hurt, and that's, a problem. Dominguez has been injured in his career, so it sucks for him. He just can't get rolling or can't get that opportunity. I was really looking forward to seeing what Dominguez could do with this, I would assume, lengthy opportunities for as long as Stanton's going to be out, and seeing if Dominguez could finally really make his mark with the Yankees. Where also, think about the way that they're developing him. It's not, oh, here comes Dominguez to be the savior. It's, all right, you get an opportunity, guys are down, let's see what you can do. That's how you should be developing your younger players. But unfortunately with Dominguez, and we don't know, we'll get the official word, he had to have an MRI. Didn't sound great, but hopefully it's not that big of a deal. Volpe also coming back. The Yankees are getting healthy here. In a first month where we were uncertain about their rotation and how it was going to hold up and how the lineup was going to look with some of the decisions that they made or the decisions they didn't make in the offseason, running it back. Grisham, how's he going to look? What are they going to do? No Dominguez, we reference him. No Volpe. How's Caballero going to look at short every day? McMahon. After a first, rough couple of weeks maybe for the bottom of the order, all of a sudden Austin Wells starting to contribute, Jazz starting to contribute, McMahon, Caballero, and now getting the guys back can only help them. It's not going to hurt. Volpe's going to come back. He's going to get an opportunity, but that means Caballero will play elsewhere the way that they originally designed. And if Volpe doesn't get the job done, then you get Caballero back at short. The Yankees are really building this thing the right way and have some depth to rely upon. Same thing with that starting rotation, which to me is going to be the biggest difference in them. If Cole comes back and resembles anything like himself, Cole, Fried, Schlittler, that's as good a 1-2-3 as there is in the game, and that will be the difference in the postseason for this team. Now, they're going to have to hit in the playoffs as well, and that's always been the issue with the Yankees, to the level, or at least close to the level that they do in the regular season. And I'm not just talking about Judge, which is the obvious one, Ben Rice as well. Ben Rice is raking right now in the tandem of Judge and Rice and how dominant that could be. Well, Rice has to prove that he could do it in the big spots against tough pitching as well, and he has not done that yet. So, but it's very early. Unfortunately for the Yankees, you can't fast forward to October. It's been a great first month though, and just everything seems like it's in the right places right now. You don't need these guys back yet, but they're starting to get them back, and then they can have another couple of months to evaluate before they start to fine-tune things. And I'm looking forward to watching the Orioles series, even though it's the Orioles and, not looked at the way that the Red Sox were coming in the year, but the Red Sox, Yanks swept away, or the Blue Jays coming into the year. Blue Jays have not been good. This may be the time where the Yanks really put the stranglehold on the American League East, and this could be a year, and I'm not surprised by this. I said it was going to happen, that they will run away with the American League East division and set themselves up even better come postseason. Story of two tales, difference of two teams.
Tale of two teams.
Tale of two stories. I think we figured it out. The
Cities?
collaboration.
Tale of two cities.
Tale of two cities. Tale of one city. The Yankees are up. The Mets are down. And they're down bad. And like I said, without starting to win some of these games here, unfortunately, we're just not going to. The talk around the Mets is going to go from, okay, what changes are they going to make now, whether it's Mendoza or players? Then it's going to be, okay, at what point do they start selling off these guys? That's where they're teetering at. With another bad week, I think that's where we're headed here. Whereas the Yankees, we're going to be talking about legitimate, okay, championship here. Who's a threat to the Yankees? Like, you watch Badabooms around the league. I know you're a big card guy. You're a big MLB The Show guy. So you're more in tune on what's going on around Major League Baseball. I don't have the bandwidth or care about it right now to pay attention, that close attention to what's going around the league. I would say that nobody's a threat to the Yankees. Who do you think is the biggest threat to the Yankees in the American League?
I really think there would be three, and then I'll give you the real answer.
Okay.
I would say maybe two. The Mariners and the
Right.
Tigers, really, and maybe the Rangers because of the playoff experience, and you're led by Corey Seager. But the real threat to the Yankees in the playoffs is the Yankees. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, that you said it perfectly. If they play their A game, and we'll get to the Knicks in just a second, if they play their A game, they're not getting beat. Period, end of story. Now, if they don't, that's on them. Oh, all these guys that performed at this level in the regular season could be Fried. He didn't have a great postseason last year. Could be Cole. Well, Cole was expected to be this. He wasn't that. Fried was expected to be this. He wasn't that. Judge, Rice, all that. Exactly right. The Yankees won't win the American League if the Yankees don't play like the Yankees, not because they're going to get beat by a better team. Seattle might be a threat, and I like Seattle because of their pitching. Come on, they're not beating the Yankees in a best of 7.
Their experience, though, they have experience now. They've been to the American League Championship, so
it's
that's
a
why I
different
say
team, though.
Seattle.
Different team. They had Polanco last year. We know what a difference maker he could be.
Where's Polanco now?
Yeah.
Can I throw one at you about the Yankees?
Go ahead.
Out of the three splinters that they would have, or question marks, I would say it's second base, third base, and the closer. If you could upgrade one right now, what would it be? What do you think is their most outlier?
Closer, because I think that Lombard. First of all, I love what McMahon has done here, turning his season around. Remember, McMahon, you don't need to have an all-star at every position. McMahon is a gold glover at third base, just a beautiful player to watch defensively, and now he's starting to put the bat on the ball a little bit. So he's a threat to go deep, and if he's putting the bat on the ball and he's hitting at the bottom of the order and playing gold glove defense, I don't think that that's a big issue. Oh, and by the way, if it does become a big issue, maybe they could bring up Lombard, and now you get the jolt from a stud in the minor leagues. You see that video, by the way, when they called Lombard up? They showed it. I saw it going around yesterday when he made
the Yankees were getting killed for that.
Oh, why? Because they were making it like he was getting called up to the big club?
Yeah. And they're oh, this dude's celebrating going to AAA.
Yeah, that's what I took away from it. I didn't see people going nuts about that. But, it is good to get called up. No, why would you not? Why would you not want to get called?
The thought process to the Yankee hater is like, well, if this guy's so good, why are we celebrating him going to AAA?
Well, forget the Yankee hater. I'm from Lombard's perspective. If they're telling me, he's like, am I getting the call up? I'm going up there. And he's like, yeah, well, you're going to AAA. And he's probably like, AAA? I want to go to the big leagues, bro. Come on. That's what I would be thinking. I would reserve those videos and the big drama for going up to the big league level, not just to get called up to go another rank in the minors.
I think, though, from the perspective, just to take this out of this, it is a little bit of a cap tip for the Yankees not forcing Lombard, because that's what they did with Volpe, and we're still facing that problem that they forced Volpe, and he didn't have time to tune his skills.
Well, yeah, but they didn't force Volpe. They forced sticking with him. He won the job out of spring training, and they're like, all right, let's see what he can do. And then they just never put him back. The difference now is it's not even that they're going to force him. We talked to Boone in spring training about this. I asked him flat out about, is Lombard ready to make an impact this year? And he basically said, yeah, it's possible. I wouldn't close the door on that. Now you see him already move up to AAA. He's one bad injury away or a month or two of bad performance from McMahon and maybe getting the call up and playing. some third base for the Yanks. Or who knows? I mean, we don't know what could happen with Volpe. So there's a real shot here, but that's the way you should be bringing him along and getting him ready. I love that when teams have players that even though the roster seems pretty full, and you talk about going into the postseason of, okay, this team's really good. Now, how are they going to get themselves to another level? When you have a stud like that in the minor leagues that could develop all year in the minors and then get ready to come up to the big leagues toward the end of the year and make a push for October, I love having that. Mostly with pitchers, but if you have a position player that could get the team over the hump, Mets had that with Conforto a little bit in 2015. David Price always famously comes to mind what he did with the Rays. Like, usually it would be with a pitcher that could come up and have a big impact on the postseason. But why not with a player if you need to? Any way you could upgrade your ball club and give you a little bit of an edge, especially going into the postseason, that's what you do. So I would be, a matter of fact, at this point, I'd be surprised if we didn't see Lombard at the big league level. But I would have reserved the video until he actually got called up to the big leagues, personally.
To your point, look at the Dodgers. I mean, they did it with Pages. Now they're doing it with Dalton Rushing. And there's another player that slipped in my mind. Why is it not a copycat league like the NFL? The Dodgers execute that perfectly.
Did you see Dalton? That's
Rushing?
his name, Rushing?
Yes, he's one of the prospects I mentioned.
Did you see him call the dude on the Cubs a fat F?
Yeah, that's what you called me last Saturday when I was eating chicken parm grinder at your house.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is true.
We forced the transition. You could hop in here. We'll get to the Knicks in a second, but because Badabooms brought it up, I do want to get to this. I was getting a lot of texts yesterday about you when we talked about how you don't know how to handle pizza. Right?
Interesting.
Okay. So you took the L on that, but what you have to take another L is...
Huh?
Chicken Parm Hero is not a grinder, bro. I was going to say something yesterday, but we kept moving on. It's not a grinder.
What do you mean?
Here's a couple of quotes, text quotes from you, or about you. Frank the chef texting, where'd you find this kid who carries pizza under his arm? Tell him it's a sub or a hero. It's definitely not a grinder. Brother-in-law
What's his last name? What's his last name?
Frank the chef. He's a great
Is he
friend of the
Italiano?
show. Yeah, he's a chef, and of course he's Italiano. Yeah, you better take his advice. Ryan, my brother-in-law Ryan, a grinder is sold at Subway. You can't call a Chicken Parm Hero a grinder.
This is news to me, brother. This is news to me. I've called it a grinder my entire life.
You can't call Chicken Parm Hero a grinder.
Wait,
Hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders. Meatloaf sandwich, sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe. You know that one?
No. What?
Bro, you don't know Adam Sandler, Lunch Ladyland?
No, I know like the dreidel song and the turkey for me,
turkey for you.
Eat
Let's
put
turkey in my big brown shoe, because it's turkey
to eat. So good.
So good.
Yeah.
No, dude. Hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders. Meatloaf
Is that on the
sandwich,
B-sides?
sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe. Yeah, come on, you got to listen to that. Lunch Ladyland by Adam Sandler.
Wait, I actually have a great comment that helps my point. In Connecticut, it's called a grinder. That's what we say.
I've never heard of it referred to as a grinder in my life.
It could just be a metrical thing. Is that right?
Like on Long Island? Geographical thing?
I don't know geography, brother. Come on.
Geometric.
Come on. When you told me we were going to Tampa, I was like, where? No, the airport. What was the airport?
In Tampa?
No. What was the airport that we came in at?
Yeah, Tampa
West Palm Beach?
No. That was that's where we're supposed to go for.
When you said West Palm Beach, I was like, brother, isn't that in Miami? Like, what are you talking about?
No, remember we never got out of West Palm Beach. We were supposed to, but then we ended up having to drive to Atlanta.
Did we?
So yeah. Now I will say enough. Like I'll give you grief for holding the pizza unacceptably bad. I was looking at the picture again. I can't believe that you did that, holding the pizza like that, calling a Chicken Parm Hero a grinder. Bad. Also, I will say that is the best Chicken Parm Hero. I had another friend text me, listen to the show, my buddy Dio that I grew up with on Long Island. The best Chicken Parm Hero that I've ever had prior to this one from Sunray Pizza was at Little Vincent's on Long Island. Have you ever had that?
No. You want to take me there?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my brother-in-law Ryan, even though he was ripping you, he's like, you got to bring Badabooms out. We'll bring him this.
Yeah, I would say Ryan was my boy. We were hitting it off.
No, and my mom wants to cook for you, all that stuff. Oh, so you're over with the family, so that's a good thing. And that's what I was going to say. So anyway, the Chicken Parm Hero at Little Vincent's was the best until this one. That's how good Sunray Pizza Chicken Parm Hero is. I know it's known for its square slice, Sicilian slice, but the best is the Chicken Parm Hero. You did do one other thing.
Here we go. It's a laundry list. Hey, Badabooms. Yeah. Here's everything that you do wrong.
When you came to the house, you brought little Sammy a birthday gift.
Yeah.
which is very nice. And it shows you raised the right way. You have the right mindset. And we appreciate that very much. However, that morning, because Sammy gets spoiled, not by us, but like everybody that comes to the house is bringing her a gift. Oh, it's her birthday. Oh, it's the first time seeing her. Oh, so she was like, oh, Badabooms are coming today. We were telling her, yeah, he's going to bring me a gift. And we're like, no, he's not bringing you a gift. And then, of course, you show up with the gift. So that was very nice of you, and we appreciate that. But you did spoil her further. And now people can't show up without a gift. Otherwise, she's going to think that something's wrong here.
Oh, every time I come over, little Sammy's getting a gift. The next one is going to be a Jets jersey. We're going to have to figure out which one. Does she have a favorite number?
That's not going to work for me, brother.
Oh, what team do you root for? You don't root for a football team?
It certainly wouldn't be the Jets. Now, I'll root for the Jets with you and hope that Muji can take them to another level.
So little Sammy can fall in love with football. There's no better way than the Jets.
Come on.
They teach you how to... Dude, the Jets have taught me so much in life. They've taught me how to take pain, how to take misery, how to take the hits and keep moving forward.
There is no... I barely want her to root for the Mets. She's got her Soto jersey. She loves Soto. But come on, I'm not going to instill that torture.
Sammy, what's your favorite baseball team? Soto.
Yeah.
What's your favorite baseball team? Soto.
I was having this conversation last night. I am no longer a Mets fan. I'm a Juan Soto fan. They make it so hard. But there's no way in hell I'd raise for a Jet fan. All right, let me do the Knicks here, and then we'll get back to you.
Yeah,
and we can take
the second best player to wear 22 in New York baseball, by the way.
Get the hell out of here with that. As for the Knicks, huge game tonight. Matter of fact, we should promote it now. We will go live after this game tonight. I want to just make sure I could get home in time, obviously watch the game in time, and I might be a little behind on the game and then catch up at halftime, and we'll go live immediately after reacting to what I anticipate to be a big Knick performance here and a big Knick win. Gray Wind 86 checking in right there. Yeah, you need to try Taramino's in Patterson. Best slice in Jersey, okay? Patterson, let me just take a picture of that real quick so I don't forget. Oh, I think I might have.
Thank you, Gray Win. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah,
I'll send you the name so I have it.
I'm all about, dude, pizza in Jersey, it's everywhere. Like I have at least 4 go-to spots for different type of things. Oh, do I want like a standard pie? Okay, I go to this place. Do I want a special pie? I go to this place. Do I want a square slice? Do I want chicken parm? They're all over the place. It's so good.
I need to apologize to Jersey Pizza. I'm not going to lie. Can you mind if I come on the screen for this? Actually,
no, go ahead. Come back.
So you know the Shaq meme? You know the Shaq meme that's like, I was unfamiliar with your game?
Mm-hmm.
The Christian Wood. Jersey Pizza, this is actually a love letter from Badabooms to you. I apologize. I was unfamiliar with your game. I thought it was a Cecilio's frozen pizza. No. I was absolutely wrong. I'm a fraud.
It's Elio's.
Where did I get Cecilio's?
Elio's frozen pizza.
I think I combined 2 of the frozen pizza. But Jersey, the great people of New Jersey, I'm sorry about the pizza. I'm taking the L on this one.
Where would you rank that chicken parm hero?
Because that's the best I've ever had in my life. I'm not just saying that just to hype it up either. I'm a king fatty. I'm a king guinea as well. I loved it. It was phenomenal.
And that was a happy accident because I found the place. I was looking at Jersey places and on the One Bite review.
We were going to go to Mike's too.
Yeah, I was looking at the One Bite app and Portnoy's reviews. I can't get enough of those. So anytime he does a place in Jersey, I'm like, all right, let me check that out. So I went there for the square. We went back and then somehow just got the chicken parm hero on it. Best thing ever. All right.
You're 4 for 4. I'm picking food places, by the way.
I know food. You think you know ball. I know food. And you doubted me. Anyway, back to the Knicks. Stop interrupting me. Can I do a show on sports? We're talking sports. Got to give the people what they want. Sports talk. I think the Knicks will be putting away the Hawks tonight. Matter of fact, they have to put away the Hawks tonight. I would expect them to win. I haven't checked the line on the game. I know Josh Hart, a little banged up. He might not go with or without Josh Hart. You got to beat the Hawks here. If the Knicks are going to continue the trend, and I know a lot of people are excited about this, looking at the Eastern Conference and the way the path shapes up. I know Detroit won last night, extending that series with the Magic, but the path in the East, even if Detroit and Boston advance, it's still, I don't look at those teams as unbeatable. I think the Knicks, if they play their A game, it's a big if, but if they play their A game, can beat those teams and will beat those teams and get themselves to an NBA Finals. This is the closest that we've been, realistically, to having the Knicks win a championship probably since 94, right? Probably 93, 94, Starks, Game 6. We know what happened. Starks, Game 7. This is, to me, I know they were in the finals in 99 against the Spurs. I never really felt like they could beat that team, although maybe there were similarities this year. If they do get to the finals, maybe we can't feel like they beat the Thunder. But at the very least, it feels more real than it's felt in at least 26 years or so, even with the hope of the last couple of years. And the signs early on, after responding, after blowing game 2, the series should be over already. Knicks should have won game 2, give the Hawks the game in Atlanta. They put it away in 5. That's what should have happened. It didn't. They can't, excuse me, they can't mess around anymore. This cannot go 7. Not because I don't think they're going to win a game 7, not because I think the pressure of game 7. Championship teams put the foot on the throat and move on. They already missed one opportunity to do that. They can't do that again tonight. Put the foot on the throat of the Hawks, with or without Josh Hart, and move on. You have more than enough with Brunson, with Cat, with Anunoby, who's been terrific this series, with the depth that they have. Maybe you could get Bridges going a little bit if need be with Hart. That should be the beauty of this team and their depth, is that it's not just relying on one guy. We know ultimately they're going to go as far as their stars are going to take them with Brunson and Cat, but the rest of it should be, okay, well, this guy's not in, good, we're going to go with this guy. This guy's not in, good, we're going to go with that guy. So the Knicks have enough depth. I'm not concerned about the injury to Hart, even though he was the one to shut down McCollum finally. I expect McCollum to get his points in Game 6. I expect the Knicks to win Game 6. And I don't want to say going away. I think they'll win this game. Again, with the NBA, I don't even want to say cover the spread and all that stuff. I think the Knicks, though, will win this game without really feeling a threat. I don't think it's going to be some miraculous, oh my God, the Knicks hold on, or the Knicks come back late. I think the Knicks, they've proven to me that they've been the better team the majority of time in this series, outside of really one quarter. I mean, you give the Hawks game 3, sure. Outside of the one quarter in game 2 where the Knicks blew that fourth quarter lead, they've dominated this series, as they should. This is nothing to... You're not going to get a medal here for beating the Hawks in the first round. This is what I was talking about going in. And come on, the idea that the Hawks are going to be a threat? What are you kidding me? This is the first round of the series, with a first-round series of a team that's supposed to go out there and compete legitimately for a championship. So go do it. And I expect that to be the case tonight. And that should even build the momentum and get more excited about the second-round matchup, and then starting to look ahead a little bit. But I don't want that momentum to go away. We've been in this spot with the Knicks specifically too many times over the year. Okay, put them away early. Let's not make this a long series. Rangers, too, for that matter. Every first-round series with the Rangers, 7 games. No, put these teams away. Act like a championship team and dominate a first round. Like when the Rangers swept the Islanders in the first round of 1994. That's what should happen. Round 2 that year, beating the Caps in 5 games. That's a dominant team, obviously going on to win the Cup in 7 and then 7 games again. That's what I always reference from a championship team. The Knicks in the early 90s, they would put away these. The first round was like a bye. It was a warm-up, and then the playoffs started in the second round. And that has not been the case with these Knicks. A grueling series with the Sixers, when you reference that. Last year, the Pistons, hard-fought, tough series with the Pistons. It should not be that way. It hasn't been that way so far. One little stub of the toe, but they could erase that with eliminating the Hawks in Game 6, and I expect them to do that. If not, it's not that I don't think they're going to win the series. It's not that they still can't go out there and get to the finals, but to me, it would be a bad sign for this team, not showing the heart of a champion, being able to step on the throat of a team that's down. So that's what I want to see from the Knicks tonight. You want to do Tired or Wired, Badabooms, or you want to save it for tomorrow? I know we're getting a little late here.
It's up to you.
It's not going to work for me, brother.
I'll do it.
Well, let's save Tired or Wired. We'll do Tired or Wired tomorrow. But we could get 2 things that I wanted to talk about. One, you saw the MJ movie, right?
Yes.
You're all excited about that.
Yeah.
Badabooms not only saw the MJ movie, he comes to my house, he's dancing, playing the music. Like, you're all about MJ.
Don't kill kayfabe. Don't kill kayfabe. I was playing a little bit of everything. I had the Gap Band. Outstanding.
So you highly recommend it? What would be your review on the Michael Jackson movie? Because now I'm itching to go see it.
I highly recommend it, and I'm going to throw out like a warning, too, about this movie. But I highly recommend it. I thought it was phenomenal. If you're somebody who enjoys watching concerts or like live performances, like this is made for you, because they do such a great job recreating some of his famous in the early stages of his career concerts, and with the Jackson 5. You know that one?
Yeah.
Rockin' Robin?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's him.
Rockin' Robin is Michael Jackson, dog. What are you talking about?
No, it's not. You sure about that?
Look it up right now. But we'll pause the show for you.
Rockin' Robin is the Jackson 5?
Are you serious? Are you serious? You don't know that Michael Jackson sings Rockin' Robin? What's wrong with you?
Bro, you didn't know Lunch Lady Land. Come on.
Rockin' Robin, are you kidding me?
I didn't know that. No, dude.
Yes, it's Michael.
No, that's Bobby Day.
No, but Michael Jackson made it famous, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, he might have redone it.
He did cover it, but a lot of the songs back in the day were covered anyway.
That's not an original MJ song, bro. Come on, man.
I don't know. That's a Michael Jackson song, in my opinion. Like Michael Jackson took that song.
I don't even remember it as that.
Stuck in my head
Anyway,
now. All right, so
aside from
I love how they recreated the concerts. It's perfect. Like the way they did that, and the story, it makes you build up this love and affection for Michael Jackson. And you get towards the end of the movie, and I think they're doing "Beat It" or "Smooth Criminal." Ow! As it came into the window, Shamone.
you got issues, man. You got.
It's the glove. Oh, no, that's Beyonce. Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? All right, so you gave me the platform to do this. You shouldn't have done that.
No, I
so
didn't give you the platform to do that, but go ahead. Yeah.
I no joke, dude. I'm sitting in the theater and I'm singing along. No, that would be the dance for Rockin' Robin. I was doing like get ready to get up and do a swirl and do a turn. I was fully into it, and it says then it pops up a black screen. Michael will return. What do you mean Michael will return? No, Michael's gonna come back out right now.
Yeah, this isn't Hunger Games. It's Michael Jackson. You got to wrap it. You can't wrap it up.
Jackson.
You told me that I was surprised, and honestly, that discouraged me a little bit because I don't like having to go commit. I want to go to the movie or I want to watch a show and have that be the end. I need a show, even if it's a multi-series show, like whatever, season 1, season 2, multi-season show. At least at the end of season 1, make it come to an end. Like there's got to be some kind of completion there, and then we could pick it up in season 2. I don't want to go to the movies.
Well, there is. I wasn't going to spoil it. There is something that's like, all right, this is kind of, it's signifying this is the end of this point of his life.
Okay, but still, and now there's more to come. They did that with Wicked, and I was like, why? I got to wait a whole another year and a half or whatever it is for Wicked.
Did you like the second one?
I didn't love it, and that's part of the problem. I did like the movie. I loved the first one, liked the second one, but part of the problem was like, you made me wait forever for this. I want it all in one sitting, and it just wasn't as good. Hunger Games a little bit different, the trilogy, but even that, the anticipation killed me. You're a Hunger Games guy, right?
When I didn't say that. Well, it's my generation, but
I'm saying
I like the first two movies. I like the spinoff.
Oh, I love the Hunger Games.
No, I prefer like other movies that are good.
All right, we're going long here. Last one. Did you watch the Hogan doc at all?
I tuned in a little bit, and then I was creating like the intro and the outro. But all I gotta say is that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, I will say that I'm a huge Hulk. I was a huge Hulkamaniac.
I see what you mean about the home videos, though. Before I forget that, I wanted to say that.
Yeah, I'm a and I'll say goodbye here. So if you want to pop out, you can. There you go. Go get yourself some grinders. Actually, what you should do is go look up Lunch Ladyland. When we're over, that's your homework. That's your duty for the day. Go watch.
Definitely not better than like the dreidel songs and the turkey song.
No, but it's a good one. Hoagies and grinders. Hoagies and meatloaf sandwich. So the Hogan thing, I wanted to love it because I was a Hulkamaniac as a kid. Any kind of nostalgia back with the 80s. Now, I know Hulk is a bad guy and a racist and all that stuff, so we know that. But I'm talking about from a fan perspective of the Hulkamania thing. I wanted to get that again. And I also wanted to get more insight, maybe behind-the-scenes stuff that I was expecting to get that we didn't see prior. This is the last interview. Hulk Hogan, last time that he spoke before he passed away. And you didn't get any of that. It was surface stuff, surface level stuff. First of all, they go over the same stories that we heard. Like, I don't know if you know this. Hogan slammed Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3. Congrats, brother. So, like, they went over a lot of things that we already knew and have seen a million times. Hogan wasn't giving you much. Jimmy Hart was the main mouthpiece that they had. He's a pro Hogan guy. It was a puff piece. That's what it was. It was a puff piece on Hogan. None of the dark stuff that happened to Hogan was covered with any depth. It was all surface type stuff. And I came away disappointed that I thought he was going to take accountability for some of the transgressions that he had. Apologize, show some remorse, understand what he did was wrong. He's one of these guys like Bret Hart that think that their gimmick is like reality. Like, Hulk, you didn't actually beat people to win the championship belt. It was, in fact, scripted, brother. I don't know if you know that. Bret Hart thinks he's, Juan Soto winning a World Series ring with the Nationals. Oh, I won the championship, man. I'm a champion. No, they decided to put the title on you in a scripted thing. I'm not saying wrestling isn't real, but like the results are predetermined. They're scripted. You didn't win it. So, like, to me, it's like, wow, these guys are so out of touch with reality. And Hulk, who before he passed away, he couldn't even walk. His back is all messed up. He's had the million surgeries. He's hobbled. He's walking with a cane. He can't move. And they asked him, like, would you do this again? And he's like, oh, yeah, brother. Like, 100% he'd do it again. He was a addicted to the fame and the lifestyle of being Hulk Hogan, which, I mean, I guess I could understand that when you get to a level like that and the rich and famous and everybody loves you for it, he felt like he was some superhero or cartoon character, larger than life. But the sad part is he actually really believed it, as opposed to, no, I'm Terry Bollea, and this is what goes on, in the ring. That's the character and all that stuff. Even his daughter came out. She was not interviewed for the doc. She came out after and was like, no, I didn't get anything from it. He didn't show any remorse or anything. Like, come on. You got to show something. The only thing, Badabooms touched on that, the only thing that I thought was interesting was the behind-the-scenes footage with Hogan. His ex-wife, Linda, did a good job of being honest and accountable and remembering their life together. All the behind-the-scenes home videos that they took at the time where he looked like a good father. Loved his kids and tried to be there as much as he could, even with the difficult lifestyle. That was some good insight to Hogan. I would recommend watching it if you have any interest in Hogan or wrestling at all, but I don't think it was as good, anywhere near as good as it could have been. And there definitely should have been more coverage and more in-depth about the darker stuff, but he just didn't want to do it. It wasn't going to work for him, brother, much like some of those matches. Go ahead, Badabooms.
But Sal, he didn't actually stam that slinking giant, brother.
Oh, no, that he did. That he did. He picked him up. Andre didn't want.
You were
Andre was
dying
trying
when
to.
I was saying that one the other day in the car.
Andre tried to resist.
You know what's a better documentary?
What?
The CM Punk documentary.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. Remember, tomorrow is the episode where we give away. Are we gonna give away the tickets live on the air or no?
I might draw it before because that could be a mess if the,
but
the
you
system
have to.
is. I will record it though. I will. Record
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You have to record you doing.
And then I could play the video. I could play the video.
For those of you not familiar, we will be giving away a pair of field-level Subway Series tickets to the Friday, May 15th game, Mets and Yankees. That will happen tomorrow. All you have to do to be eligible is to be a subscriber. And once you subscribe, I mean, you don't have to comment or like, but if you do, that would be helpful as well.
We'll give a deadline, too, if you're listening to this later on. I'll draw it before the show tomorrow. So if you're listening to this now or at the end of the day, you still have time. Around 7:30 tomorrow is when I'll do it.
Okay, those tickets courtesy of Sachdev Orthodontics in Rockland County. So we appreciate Raj hooking us up. And Badabooms and I will be at that game with you as well, sitting in the field level, watching the Yankees. I'm assuming pound the Mets for that game. So whether you're a Yankee fan, Met fan, we could sit there and have fun at the ball game. That's tomorrow. Also tonight, live after the Knicks game, right here on this channel, we'll react together to what happens in Game 6 with the Knicks and Hawks. Anything else, Badabooms, or we're good to go?
I don't know, brother. It's up to you.
No, okay.
I think we're good.
Tell me to do something else. All right, that does it. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.